Hey guys, this is Zio and welcome to my Alpha 11 preview for 7 Days to Die. I'm here in my base on my test world where I have prepared a few things to illustrate some of the upcoming changes that the Fun Pimps are cooking up for us. And obviously I can't show you the new things yet as they're not yet in the game, but I will try to compare and contrast what we currently have in Alpha 10 with what they're planning to add in the next big patch. So let's get into it. One of the most interesting things that the Fun Pimps are putting in Alpha 11 is a new gun system. And this is what they have to say about it. We've been planning on a new gun system for a few months now, and we're finally ready to start on it. The new system allows players to find whole weapons that can be broken down to yield a specific number of good parts. The parts and assembled guns have 7 quality ranges, including broken, damaged, poor, average, great, flawless, and legendary. Once the player collects enough good parts, he can assemble a working gun. The sum or average quality of all the parts determines the sum or average quality of the assembled weapon. The parts themselves govern attributes like damage, accuracy, degradation rate, scope zoom level, knockback strength, penetration, and fall-off range. This will allow for hundreds of thousands of permutations of guns. Later, the system will also be used for armor, tools, and melee weapons. So currently what we have is we just have regular old parts, which you can see here, sniper scope. It does not have any quality or anything like that, so all you can do with it is craft it, or create a mold for it, just like that. Okay, so here I am next to the forges, and I will be making a sniper rifle. So the way to do that is you take each of the molds and you feed any sort of metal into them to make each of the respective parts of whatever gun it is that you wish to make. And the gun I'm making currently is the sniper rifle, which needs 5 pieces. It is the most resource-intensive weapon to make currently, and it's even harder because you actually have to find each of those parts first before you can make that mold, which means that you obviously need to do quite a lot of exploring, which usually involves finding a shotgun messiah because it has the highest chance to drop these gun parts. And from what I've seen, the sniper rifle parts seem to be the most rare to find. So you actually have to actually explore a few of these shotgun messiahs to collect all the parts, since you're likely going to get multiple of the same part before you can actually collect all the 5 different parts together. So as you can see, I've now made 4 parts and making the 5th part now. And once we have all 5 parts, we can construct the sniper rifle. So, go over here and type in sniper. Then put all the pieces in their proper positions, just like so, and we can craft the gun. And currently, the gun will not have any special properties. It will just be a sniper rifle like any other, and the only factor that will be taken into account when you fire the weapon is its current durability. And the damage will go down as you damage your sniper rifle by shooting it. So let's move on to the next part. New weapons. So there will be 2 new weapons in Alpha 11. The blunderbuss muzzle loader and a new handmade bow. And hopefully the new handmade bow will be an interesting weapon. I have actually thought that they should add a bow into the game. which I think will be a great change. And the blunderbuss, I'm assuming, will be somewhat similar to the guns, but maybe sort of like a shotgun that you'll use to fire some kind of objects. I think that it's quite possible that we'll be using nails to fire the blunderbuss. That will be a pretty cool mechanic, I think, anyway. So let's move on to the next part. Alpha 11 should also include a new first-person hands and animations, and this is what the Fun Pimps have to say about it. We have some awesome new high-res first-person male and female hands. We'll be integrating these, as well as a whole new awesome set of first-person animations. Wellness improvements. We're improving wellness stat change and top capacity feedback so players can understand the wellness system better. This is something that I think they've been planning to do for a while, because the wellness system is still fairly new and it's still obviously being worked on. As you can see, my wellness currently is 81, and by eating food we can raise that a little bit, I think. There you go. As you can see, our wellness increased to 83. You can also increase your wellness by taking antibiotics, which will also make you immune to infection, cure your infection as well. But periodically you will also get this wellness boost. As you can see, it's already 85. So growing quite quickly. Leveling and leveled loot. We're enhancing our current player leveling system, improving the criteria, and adding leveled loot lists to the game so higher leveled players get better loot drops. This is needed to work with our new gun, armor, tool, and weapon quality systems. I think this is one of the bigger changes also. It should really make the game a lot more interesting, especially in the end game. Since you'll be getting much higher quality items later on in the game, and perhaps it will add some sort of progression to the game that we currently don't have, where basically all your loot drops are random, and you might get a great loot drop right on the first day, just as well as on the 50th day. And there's really no differentiation based upon how far a player has advanced in the game. So I think this will really add quite a bit of interesting gameplay to the later game. They're also rolling out a new random gen mixing XML, which should allow users to set up their own world, including the selection of world size, biomes, height intensity, prefabs per biome, and prefab chance to spawn, as well as others. And that should allow for more customization of your single player or multiplayer games. Maybe they'll include it in the create a world that you can see in the menu currently, even though it's not functional yet. I think that's where it will go, and it should probably be an interesting thing to try out. So I look forward to showing you that when it comes out. Usability enhancements. We're adding a new Windows-like right-click function menu for items in the player's backpack, belt, or loot containers. The player simply needs to right-click on an item, and a pop-up menu displays showing a list of item-related actions, which include take, craft, equip, use, eat, drink, read, examine, scrap, and compare. We're also doing many smaller usability enhancements that just make the game a lot easier to play and learn. I'm actually looking forward to that one quite a bit, because I think that it will really make it easier to use your items. Scrap option is certainly interesting, as it will make it a lot easier to break down your items, especially when you're trying to run away from zombies or stay safe somewhere during looting time. And so currently the way this works is you just have it in your hotbar like I do right now, and you basically right click to use everything, and no matter what it is, you just right click and use it. I can bandage my my leg, I can use a health kit, read a book, everything requires a slot in your toolbar. So once you can just simply right-click on an item and use it, I think it will be a lot better. You will just basically do everything from your inventory instead of having to put every single thing in your hotbar. Integrating Steam networking. And here's what the Fun Pimps have to say about that. We're adding, evaluating, and integrating new Steam networking code, and are optimistic we'll gain performance, stability, and more reliable NAT punch through. And this is, I think, sorely needed. I've had trouble before in multiplayer games trying to have people join. I'm not sure what was causing it. Eventually, the problems went away, but I'm glad that they're working on it and that they will be fixing it. Server browser enhancements. We're integrating better server stat options that are easier to read, as well as integrating a new server filtering system, icon tips, and scrolling. So I think that will be one of the minor changes. I'm not really going to go over that. I'm just glad that they're improving it in general. So that's basically all that they are looking to add in Alpha 11 that they're basically promising to us. But there's other features that hopefully they are going to make it into Alpha 11, but possibly they might have to be saved for a later date depending on what issues they run into during development. So one of those things that might make it in is the new armor system. And let me just read what they have to say about that. New armor system. Inspired by our new gun system, we will also be working on new armor system where the player can craft or find and loot leather and iron armor pieces with 6 quality ranges, including damaged, poor, average, great, flawless, and legendary. Once the player reads the associated book or accumulates the minimum skill points, he can begin crafting the lowest level of leather or iron armor. To craft a higher tiered armor, the player must either boost his skills or find higher tiered armor through looting. So the way the armor system works currently is first you have to learn a schematic, iron leg armor schematic. I use that, and now I can create iron leg armor. And to do that, I will be creating a few leather pieces for the bindings, I suppose. And I'll also need a few forged iron. And then I find iron leg schematic, just like that. Place all the pieces where they go, like so, and hit craft. And as with the current gun system, crafting these pieces will not differentiate at all in quality. So no matter which piece you get, the only thing that matters in how much protection it gives is the durability. Improved random world generation. We're improving the random gen pathing system to allow vertical cutting as well as tunnels and a more robust town code. And this is another one of those changes that might not make it into Alpha 11 if they do not have time. But I like the idea of tunnels, and the more robust town code sounds intriguing as well. I think that's also somewhat needed. The towns right now, I think it's quite hard to put your finger on exactly what's wrong with their generation, but they seem to be somewhat strange. The size especially. I do not really know what they mean by vertical cutting. If anybody knows, please share that in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And the tunnels sound really great. I'm not sure if they mean by putting in tunnels when a road is generated through a mountain, essentially. That's kind of what I'm assuming. If you have any other ideas, again, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And last but not least, the drivable minibike. We're adding a drivable minibike. Players must gain mechanical knowledge through books and skills, and then find parts to craft and assemble a chassis, brake and throttle cable, small engine, gas tank, and more. And this is a really interesting addition to the game. I think a lot of people have been asking for various types of vehicles, mostly cars, for quite some time now. And I believe they are really sorely needed in this game and will add a whole dimension to gameplay. Because currently you have to travel quite far, and in order to get any kind of good items from various prefabs and find special stores like the hardware store or Shotgun Messiah, you need to go from biome to biome, which are fairly sizable, and it can take quite a while to travel in between them and find their prefabs. So I think that by adding a vehicle that will speed your movement, other than just a regular coffee or beer, that allows you to basically run for a longer period of time with sprint on, it will basically shrink the map while maintaining a realistic distribution of prefabs, and that will, I think, make the game a lot more interesting. And especially later on in the game, when you're able to get quite a lot of different things by being self-sufficient, and there will still be items that you're looking to get basically through exploring these special tool stores like the auger or the chainsaw. Those items are notoriously hard to find. They take a long time to locate, and a lot of the time, even when you do find a hardware store, you will not find one or even both of those items, like in my single-player playthrough, which you can find on my channel. So, by putting the bike in parts and making it crafted, I think that they are going to add another level to the crafting game. It will make you loot more pieces. I think more schematics are in order. And once you do have that drivable mini bike, you will be a lot more effective at finding other items. Basically, be able to travel from one of these big cities to another fairly fast. And you will not have to risk too much by essentially running and dying. And it should make the game a lot more fun by just making it easier to do the boring parts, which is generally running from place to place. And that's pretty much it. I think that this is the biggest change that's going to happen, is adding those vehicles. I think this is the first one. I think they're going to add a lot more after that once they figure out all the mechanics. And I think it will also make a great use for gas. Right now there's not much you can do with gas except use it for either the chainsaw or the auger. And by adding a vehicle that will obviously use gas, we will have the game take away some of that surplus gas you can see everywhere and make it into an actual resource that's finite, which it does not seem to be currently, because you can find so much of it just laying about at the gas stations when you find one. So this covers all the Alpha 11 changes. And I appreciate you watching the video all the way through, even if you maybe skipped some parts in the middle. And please hit like and subscribe. I try to upload a video every day of either single player or in the future multiplayer, or one of these update videos of sorts. I'll also probably be doing some tutorials, how to build bases, how to do farming. Definitely after Alpha 11 hits, I'll make a video that will show you exactly what the changes added. I'll try to make it as detailed as possible so that you can see exactly how to craft these items. And I hope you will watch it. I hope you hit subscribe, and you will be alerted when the video is ready, when Alpha 11 hits. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the future. Take care.